Spears and Steinberg.
You know what the it is?
Aries and Andy, Jew and the Jerk.
You know it's time to get this work.
The real raw, gutter, uncut, cold. No political corrections.
Always sleep.
Being awoke. We discuss politics and jokes.
Scribe, we lit.
There's levels to this shit. Before you was on your mama.
Aries Spears don't give a fuck.
We talk about race a lot, racism. Much love to my loyal bag holders.
Rollers, loaders.
We got them in the folders.
The whole world on our shoulders.
Spears and Steinberg.
Yeah.
This Oh Steve comes to us from Dwayne Davis. Hello, Aries and Andy. I messed up on my last Oh Steve where I described the atomic bomb being dropped on Hawaii, but the atomic bomb dropped on Japan, and I was historically inaccurate. So I want to take another shot at an Oh Steve. It's May 18, 2002, and by Mad TV is wrapping up its 7th season. The rap party is that night, and all the cast members are in attendance. Aries Spears and Michael McDonald are at the bar getting drunk, and they notice Deborah Jo Rupp and Mo. Deborah Jo Rupp? Who the fuck is Deborah Jo Rupp? And Mo Collins are at the other end of the bar, and they are wasted. Michael and Aries look at each other, and they have a telepathic conversation and realize what time it is. They know they have had chemistry with the ladies as they have been working together for the last 5 years, and realize that it is time to put their game down since the show got renewed for another season and the show is doing well in Nielsen ratings. Aries and Michael both approach the ladies, and they all agree to go to the room, to the Aries room, since he was one of the cast members that got the room that night. They are all over each other in the elevator to the room, and they all pile out stumbling drunk. Now, before I finish this, you know what the major problem here is?
He doesn't know who Michael McDonald is.
Yeah. They get to the room, open the door, and find the writers Stephen Craig and Alex Borstein are already in the room doing coke, and Stephen is about to get some head from Alex. Then Aries, Mo, Michael, and Deborah yell out, "Oh, Steve!" Andy, you know what the problem is?
Yeah.
What's the problem?
He doesn't know Michael McDonald.
There you go.
No, there's other problems too. Let me just. There's this thing on the top of your pencil, man. Turn that pencil over. Read all those words.
Wait. You might have dated yourself. You said pencil.
You know, because I think writers still write in pencil first.
Really?
I do.
Oh.
I do.
Right.
I like. I don't know what it is I like about a pencil. I
Right.
feel like I have to have that connection to the paper.
Right.
But then go look at those and then read it and start erasing words that you don't need. Get rid of some sentences you don't need. I don't need to know about why Aries is the one who got the room that night. I didn't need to know that. They went back to Aries' room. That's good enough. I got it. We were in Aries' room now. And then, you open the door and boom, that's what you see. But anyway, I like the idea. I like the idea. And you know what? Michael might have had a different idea that night. He might have taken on a challenge.
You know who Michael is.
Dude, I told you I worked with him once.
Yeah.
He might have been the first person I actually featured for.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, he couldn't have been one of the nicest dudes in the business, and it was very. But you know what's funny about him? A lot of guys, you kind of get a little bit about who they are as a person.
Right.
Got nothing.
No, that's Michael.
Yeah.
That's Michael.
Nothing. Just
unless you
very surface, but funny stories, whatever.
Yep.
But nothing about who
Yep.
he is.
Unless he lets you in the back door at Mickey's, you ain't gonna know who Michael is. Be Dowdy. Build things you want. What's up, A&A? This is your 6'9" listener, Brendan. I have listened to the podcast since the beginning. Attaboy. And I have written several times. And through the years, you have discussed you want to do more things in the industry with your own projects. At the moment, you have a rare opportunity. If you don't know, the TV film industry is in the because of all these different strikes and potential strikes, taking on a toll on the industry and the people who work in it, such as all the people who work behind the scenes from pre-production to post-production. Since they are not shooting as much for TV and film because of strikes, there are many storyboard artists, writers, producers, and coordinators. Also, people who work in the edit field, such as animators, editors, and assistant editors. there are also a lot of people trying to get into the industry in the same positions. Back to your rare opportunity. You have a chance to empower people and get people work by putting the back signal in the air, allowing these post-production people to work to start their resumes, build their resumes, or add to their resumes. Give those people who have the skill to do it the opportunity to use your old material from the podcast to show you what they can do. You can even create a contest behind it where he meant to say they, but he put H, where H submit their work using your audio from the podcast to do these animations that you keep talking about. Over time, you will have your own library of animations from different people using your podcast and your stand-up, and the people who do the best in your eyes can be the team that you build that works with you going forward to create more content for yourself. Obviously, you would pay them eventually, but it would be just a trial run. See what you like out of their material submitted by them. This way, you're not breaking your pockets trying to pay people top dollar to do animations. You can use up incomers to do these projects and get a lot further than you would going into a studio or some big hit or some big wig. This is just a thought. Tell me what you think. Keep up the good work. Love the podcast, Brandon Doty. you know, Brandon, I hear you, man. Here's the dilemma. A lot of times people make assumptions about what can be done or what you can do when, very few people are willing to put in work for nothing. Everybody wants to get paid. And in a time where, work is not being thrown around and not out there, people will see me and go, oh, I know I can get paid. And it's like, it's not as easy as you think. I have so many people that give me this kind of advice. Nothing is free, and nothing is as easy as you think. And because I always get people to go, man, why don't you do this? Or here's what you could do. But they're not in my position, so they don't know how hard it is. They just have an assumption that it can just be done that easily, and it's not. It's not that easy. People are motivated by money, and I've had countless meetings where I try to pull people together and go, man, what if we, and the key word is sacrifice. What if we sacrifice for the greater good of what the bigger picture could be? Most people don't want to invest in what could be. They want to invest in what is. So it's really an uphill battle, man. It really is. Not saying it's impossible, but you got to do something like back to the slave movie I'm working on. And I meant to call you and tell you, I had a second meeting with Tim and this other dude. Andy, I've never felt more like I told Tim and I told this dude, this feels right.
Yeah.
Between Tim's level of intelligence and this guy who I met with, and he had a book with him, and what was the name of this? Something about something white slaves and something economics. And I said, what's this book about? And he basically told me what you were telling me and what we watched in that Netflix documentary about there were white slaves alongside black slaves, but something about when it was time to give title and land. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
about. Right. But he broke that down, and Tim, of course, was like, yup. And the guy goes, dude, listen, I'm a political nerd. So certain aspects of the movie, we could talk about this and the politics of this. I went, man, now I really want to make this.
See,
but before you go, and I said to him, I go, look, man, I'm gonna pay y'all 4 figures a piece to do this. And at first, Tim was like, look, man, you ain't gotta pay me nothing. Just, I'll take a stab at a second draft, and if you like it, you want to with me, give me something maybe down the line. You know how rare it is that people say that? When I first went to 2 comedic friends of mine who I know and establish, so-and-so and so-and-so, how much to do? 50,000. They're not saying I don't have 50,000, but you don't just want to spend 50,000. So I'm just like, and I know you got to pay to play, but damn, and scared money don't make none, and you have to take chances. But when But when you're taking high risks like this, you try to work as cautiously and as correctly as you can.
Dude, Tim's a great dude. I don't know the other guy. I just can tell you Tim's a great guy. I only have great people around. Honestly, character-wise, Tim's probably one of the top people I know in my whole life.
Yeah.
And Tim works hard, but Tim knows that he can make a few dollars. But Tim has a greater purpose, man. Tim wants something better than that. And one of the reasons that I want Tim to be, that I talked to you about Tim on this, is because this movie could be very funny, but it needs to be very smart.
And it needs to be very right.
But very smart. You can't do this without being smart. It has to be smart before it's funny. And the funny will become bigger than the smartness as long as it's ridden with that intention.
Right.
And so that's why I knew he was the right guy. He has the knowledge. He's going to put it together in a way that is that the worry would be, and I know people have said it. It's too controversial. He's going to make it work because he's
With these two guys on board,
so smart.
I'm telling you. And now my thing is this: I go, so you two guys work together. Of course, I'll sprinkle in and look over what you do. But then even when that's finished, now I'll take it to Alex and Buddy and go, now I'm just paying y'all for punch up. Comedic punch up. So, but my point is, even when I've said to Andy, and we've had an animator, I had an animator this weekend here in Austin say, hey man, I'm an animator, I'm doing this. If y'all ever want me to, blah, blah, blah. And I said, hey man, hit me up on Instagram, let's chop it up, we'll figure it out. I still got my man who I'm
from Atlanta,
Ant, who of all the guys that have done animation for us, I like him the best. I don't know if this guy is better than him. I don't know. But the point is, I'm going to have to pay this dude. Just like I got to pay Ant. You got to pay people.
Well, the other thing is, like you're saying in this whole thing, we put it out there before. Hey, man, if you want to, you could take a stab at making a cartoon for us. But there's two things that happen with this. One, you can't go looking for someone to do that. Mm-hmm. If you want to collab where they're coming in and they're giving you some work, and then we'll see where it goes, and then we'll work. Money will eventually come. But that's someone who's going to collab with you because they like what you're doing, and they feel like they can enhance your product, and then we can make something together.
Right.
So you can't go find them. You can put it out there. Hey, we're looking for people. If you think you could do that, take a shot at it. We'll see where it goes. We'll see what we can do about it. But I asked you the other day because we were talking about walking. And I said there's a song for the missing persons in the '80s, and it's in some of these movies. But it's like nobody walks in L.A. Mm-hmm. What you're saying? No one works for free in L.A. And that one is more true than no one walks in L.A.
Even when I've had guys hit me up and go, man, if you and Andy ever need like a person who is like a producer in the sense that when y'all can't figure certain things out or you need certain answers, I'm the guy that could be on the side. You just yell it out and on my keyboard, and I'll pull it up and I'll do, okay? Who's going to pay for his plane ticket on the road every trip?
Yep.
Who's going to pay for his hotel room?
Who's going to pay for his food?
Who's going to pay for his food? You know what I mean? All that falls on me. And it's like I'm spreading myself thin enough doing all the shit I'm already doing. Not that I wouldn't want to utilize your services, but it costs, man.
I don't think people realize how much it costs.
Yeah.
And you know what? Aries takes. This works out very well for me. It's like I can afford to pay my bills. But you know what? I pay for my just the fact that I pay for my Ubers and after a weekend, it's expensive. That's all. Right. Ubers can cost as much getting from my house to the airport and then from the airport to the club and then back that way. That can cost as much as the plane ticket.
Right.
People don't realize how fast your expenses go up.
Yeah.
That's just Uber.
Right.
That doesn't include any food. That doesn't include anything else, any extras that go along with that.
Prostitutes.
Yeah, they can get spending. Not everybody just has a cheap street.
You know what I'm saying? Some bitches is on Rodeo.
Oh,
yeah. I'm just saying, man. Yeah,
it's what you're saying is great in theory, and yes, you're right. There are people out there, but I don't think that.
Like people assume that because I'm in the game, yo, man, if I give you this, or if you, here's what you do. I got an idea for a show. All you got to do is walk that shit into Netflix and blah, blah, blah. I wish I had it like that. I don't have it like that. What do you think I can do for you? Because if I could do it for you, I'd do it for myself.
Yeah. It's all business.
Yeah, man. And listen, I'm gonna keep plugging away and cracking at it until I have my Shawshank Redemption moment. You know, I'm figuring out how to swim through the tunnel of shit to come out clean on. He swam through a tunnel of shit to come out clean on the other side. I'm trying to do that, man. Deron Ross, what up, cuh? What's good, family? Andy, congratulations on the ball and chain coming up.
Thank you.
I know y'all waiting on the whole clip to talk about it, but there's a show called Your Honor on Netflix. Is this the one with Bryan Cranston?
Yeah, I think it is.
This means you too, Andy. Y'all got to check this out. On another note, why y'all don't come to New Orleans, bruh? I'm sure you'll get mad love down here. Keep on doing your thing. Oh, yeah, Trump. One love from Louisiana. They're actually...
Looks like we're going to have a spot.
Yeah, they're Helium, right?
Yep.
Helium's putting a comedy club in New Orleans, in Nolens. So I can't wait, man, because, you know, Bourbon Street, man, some good holes in there.
It needs a club.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to talk more about it because I don't know how much they've said about it, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah. I think the most New Orleans thing you can do is drink some bourbon on Bourbon Street while prostitute on top of an alligator.
In a white linen suit.
In a white linen suit. Give me a second here. Oh, Kurt Elias. Do not watch Shotters. What up? What up? The two years, just say both years. I highly recommend not watching Shotters. It's one of those hood, low B movie type flick. Only reason I watched it was because it kept being recommended to me from some of the homies. It's not good, but I'd love for y'all to watch it just to get the review from Aries, LOL. Appreciate you reading my last email couple 3 weeks ago. I want to start writing in more and be like our guy Kolsch and chill in the tub while listening to the pod. Congrats on the weight loss. You guys are looking good. Aries, your tees don't look like onesies anymore, and jawlines are showing some definition. Did my t-shirt ever look like a onesie?
That's between you two.
Handy, many blessings on the marriage. Mazel tov, you Jew prick you. Why saludo ATYL señorita? He wrote something in Spanish. I can't tell if you Spanish or Jamaican. I need a tap in on this art is perceived as not manly combo. I'm a great artist, or was anyways. Growing up, my two brothers and I loved drawing. Highly influenced by comics and would draw all the time. I took art in school, but by the time I was in junior high, I was around a bunch of gang-type dudes and very, very stupidly went towards the way of the Barrio Boys. I think he's Hispanic.
Yeah.
This continued into high school, and by the time I lost interest in art and pretty much thought it was a waste of time. I probably could have had a great career doing something in the art industry, but wasted the talent on trying to be a gangster. So stupid. Art is great and very expressive and should be held in high regard. To the guy that wrote in last episode, keep up the hard work. Don't focus on the negative distractions and be the best damn artist you know how to be. All right, y'all. Stay up. Blessings and peace out. 1. So is he saying he wants to go back to art? It's never too late, bro.
No, and art can find you when you're older too, because you have experience and you start seeing things differently. And
Right.
I honestly, I was talking to Tara about this. I kind of wouldn't mind starting to paint a little bit. I started doing some drawings again. Started maybe painting a little bit.
I can see you doing that.
Just for myself. Just because it's a very meditation like kind of procedures, man. You can really get into it. And get
Jim
relaxed.
Carrey paints, doesn't he?
Yeah, he paints.
But his be like crazy, weird, and abstract. Right?
I don't know what you know what though? You know what's great, and I'm not knocking anything about Jim Carrey. This isn't the knock. I wish I had enough money that if I wanted to paint, that I could just go rent a studio or build something in my property and be able to have the room. I'm gonna be kneeling down in my basement. You can't even stand all the way up in certain areas of the basement.
Right.
Like I got about a quarter of it you could stand up in.
Right.
So I got to find a little. I work out in that quarter, so there isn't that much room. So I have to find a little nook that I can get in there, and the lighting's not good. But yeah, man, I would like to paint. Jim Carrey, more power to him. I love that he's fine. Creativity is creativity. Art is art, man. And when you're a creative person and you can do other kinds of art, man, you should explore. You should. I think it's beautiful when people paint.
Yeah, and if you can, man, I mean, if the passion is still there, why not start now?
Do it, and if he is Hispanic, Mexican, if that's what, dude, I love Mexican artwork, man, because they use so much color. It's so vibrant.
Yeah.
And I'm colorblind, so colors pop to me. That's why certain artists that I love really work for me because of the way the colors come together. So it makes a difference, and that's why I really like Mexican artwork. Man.
Well, speaking of which, like, remember how we talked about that HBO doc we watched about black art, The Absence of Light? Do you know of any, like Mexican or Hispanic, which is Mexican Hispanic, any Latino Hispanic works of art that is like that, be it a documentary or
like Frida Kahlo?
Yeah, just any where you could go see an abundance of Latin influenced art.
Oh yeah. Yeah, where I'm from in Arizona, like I don't know necessarily all the names off the top of my head, but there's great art all over Arizona. And you know what?
It's called graffiti.
No. There's just so much. There is that
Even though that is art.
It is art.
Yeah.
There's tons of it. But it's all around. There's a lot of museums. The Southwest
Right.
museums are incredible. They have a lot of Hispanic representation. But there's... dude, I like going to Mexico and the artisans that just sell. Your street artists are amazing out there.
In Mexico?
Yeah.
You've been to Mexico?
Yeah, I go to Mexico.
What?
When I grew up in Arizona, man, we're a few miles away.
I never knew that.
Yeah, you go to Mexico all the time.
Did you sneak back in?
Yes, no. They threw me back out. What, Wedo?
Wedo. Kristen Robinson, Overcooked Meat. What's going on, fellas? It's your boy C Nasty again, and I speak wholeheartedly for. We don't I like that. We don't have never liked our like overcooked meat. I want some of what Andy is smoking because it's got to be potent. LMAO. But in all seriousness, we focus on flavor and cooked meat. Also, who y'all got in the finals? I personally got the Mavs taking it in 6. Well, we know that ain't happening, especially the way Luka has been playing. This is random, but I started Mayor of Kingstown last night, and that show is incredible. I understand why y'all like that show so much. Lastly, Andy, have a blessed wedding, and of course, keep killing it, y'all. Much love. Hopefully, I can come see y'all one day. I stay close to Charlotte. Much love. So you just started.
Thank you, by the way.
You just started Mayor of Kingstown. Yeah, bro.
That's good.
It's fire, man. Season 1, 2, and I'm waiting for them to finish 3 before I open that bag of chips.
I was about ready to start it, going back watching 2, and then jumping on.
But did you see all of 2?
No, I didn't see the last
Yeah,
episode.
the last. So you saw a lot of the
I
beginning.
saw like the first 4 or 5
Oh,
episodes.
okay. Finish it, dude. It's yeah.
I'm going to go back. I'm going to start from the beginning of 2.
And it's obvious. I guess they're not bringing back Tulsa King.
You know,
They would have just should brought it back by now.
But this is the thing: those guys getting Sylvester Stallone to be available for it.
What else he doing?
He has he was doing his his show. He had a show with his daughters and everything.
A reality show?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, that. Get your ass on the Tulsa set.
You know, but it's hard. It's hard to get everybody lined up. He's not, and he's older. He works when he wants to work. Dude, there's a difference when you're an employee. And listen, actors, you're an artist, but you're still an employee, man. You're an employee of the business, right?
Yeah.
But to be an employee, to be able to retire, or to be able to go, I'm working when I want to work.
I work when I want to work, you know?
That has to be the.
You can't get me out of the rocking chair for nothing. I gotta go when I want to go.
I think that's amazing, man. That people get to make that kind of decision as an employee. Like Jim Carrey got to make the decision. When you get to make your own decision on when you're done, instead of like Patrice says, the
industry says you're done. Yeah,
that's an amazing thing.
And that's what I call when people go, "What's making it? What's making it?" That's when you've made it. You know,
when you get to make the decision.
Yes, when Will Smith goes, "I turned down Neo in The Matrix." You know, that's making it. Denzel turned down Brad Pitt's role in 7. When you're turning down scripts, Yeah, you've made it.
But there's some regrets in some of that stuff turning down.
Oh, absolutely. But what a great problem to have.
Yeah.
You turn down one hit for another hit. All right, I'm gonna read one of these black stands. God damn.
That's how you should title it.
Black stand, goddamn. Chapter 1, Spider-Man Theory, responding back to pod episode 324. Yo, what up, Aries and Andy? It's Black Stan again, sending another email out for all those Marvel nerds out there.
Wait. Can you hear it? Can you hear it right now? What? Listen carefully. Listen, can you hear it?
What?
You don't hear that?
What is it?
It's Black Stan jerking off right now. He's so excited.
Episode 1. Oh, God. Please, Aries and Andy, chime in on my thoughts and ideas for the MCU. I'm betting my money on Tom Hardy's Venom is the same universe as Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. I can't wait to see Shailene Woodley, MJ, in TASM 3. I don't even know what that is. See, I'm not a nerd like that. Who is Shailene and who Shailene Woodley?
He tells you in this, but she's been in a lot of movies. People like her.
Her and Andrew must be perfect chemistry for both characters.
She dated Aaron Rodgers for a while.
Still don't know. I quote from Professor Charles Xavier, just because someone stumbles and loses their path doesn't mean they're lost forever. Sometimes we all need a little help. Shailene Woodley is coming back after No Way Home. We haven't yet seen Shailene MJ. In No Way Home, Andrew Spider-Man said he didn't really find his MJ yet because he still mourns over Gwen. But by saving Tom's MJ gave Andrew Spider-Man purpose to find love again. Now the third TASM, is TASM short for something?
I don't know.
All right. I feel like Shailene MJ is going to be a reporter investigator, like a Lois Lane / Laura Croft type. And Shailene fits the bill perfectly. Her MJ is more daring, who ain't scared to go in.
The Amazing Spider-Man.
Okay. First, see, we not nerds. We fans.
I had to look. I had to see it. I had to see the writing.
Yeah, we fans, but we not fanatics. Her relationship with Andrew Spider-Man is going to be fantastic. Aries and Andy, if you don't know who Shailene Woodley is, she played in a book novel film series called Divergent. And she used to date NFL star Aaron Rodgers. Fans will know in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, they were setting up Peter meeting MJ for the first time. Shailene was playing MJ, but she got cut out the film. Also, you may know her from the movie Snowden with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and another hidden gem movie to watch with her in it is called The Fault in Our Stars.
She's a good actress.
Yeah.
She actually, in that movie that we saw, what was the movie about the dude who makes all that money in the stock market, and they kind of went after him? But we talked about it on the podcast. They tried to take him down because he was the one who bought a GameStop.
Oh, I know the movie you're talking about, but I don't know the guy.
The wife, his wife in that movie is
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, what was I gonna say before I said that? When we went to go see Bad Boys 4, they showed the preview for Venom.
Yeah.
That shit looked good. Now, what I can't wait to see, because they're gonna get to it eventually, the face-off between Spider-Man and Venom. I think Tom Holland's Spider-Man against Tom Hardy's Venom. That's going to be a CGI explosion. I can't wait for that.
You know what would be awesome? If Tom Brady was in it too.
Kid, let me tell you. We're talking about the three Toms. You know, they're going to be shooting webs. I'm going to be shooting the same way they do the wrist action. I'm not even going to touch my. I'm just going to swing it. And it's going to come out of my hot, creamy like it's webbing. That would be greatest. Can you imagine that? Tom, and Tom. Tom Holland, Tom Brady, and the greatest Anglo-Saxon purebred cliff-gen white-jawed man that God ever produced. It'd be to die for. What are you going to do, kid? Be great.
I just want the people who watch this podcast who...
I got to tell you something else, kid, before you get to your thought. When you look at the color stream, it's perfect for Tom Brady. You got the Venom guy who's black. You've got Spider-Man who's part red, which means Mexican. And then you got Tom Brady who's pale white. If he wins that fight, it only goes to prove that white is right. What's your point, kid?
We don't work on these podcasts. So I'm going to say.
And we don't get work because of it.
We just kind of talk about it. And when I said that, Aries had no idea I was going to say that. And then goes into this perfect. You guys don't appreciate exactly what you guys get for watching this podcast. It is so funny for me to be sitting here and just throw these things out, and this is what happens.
You know, they should make me a Venom character, too. The same way I got the whatever they call it, spooges, whatever the thing is that covers the whole body. And I have a scene with Tom Brady where he goes, "Who are you?" And of course, I talk like Venom. But then when the thing comes open, I go, "It's me, Tom, Bobby Patterson," and I kiss him.
There should be a Spider-Man, which is just what you said. Like
Right.
it's just like a bukkake film. He's just coming on everything.
But you know what? He's in the full Spider-Man outfit, but no, not a kid piece. His actual is through a hole.
Yeah, but he can just it opens up.
No, it doesn't open up. It's just automatically out.
It's automatically out.
So when he needs the web, he just and shoots the cum.
And he comes on everything. It's all money shots.
You know what I'm saying? Right in the eye. Something I was going to tell you, speaking of, this is a great segue. So you know how he said Aaron Rodgers was dating this chick?
Yeah.
Okay, once upon a time ago, I fuck with some stars. I was with Kiara Mia, and she was dating Garoppolo. What's his name?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy Garoppolo. She was dating him for a minute. Was he quarterback of the 49ers?
49ers, but he was Tom Brady's backup for a while.
Dude, I had to call her and tell her it was so funny. I guess at one point during the season, the Niners blew a big game. And you know how you've seen this footage before, whether it's on Ridiculousness or some of these home videos, where dudes who are so invested in the game are screaming at the TV as though the player can hear them. You've seen this, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll hit their TV, throw a beer can at it. So this dude is watching Garoppolo blow this game, and he's screaming at the top of his lungs, "Garoppolo, you're blowing it, and he's a porn star." I saw that shit. I called Kiara. I said, "You got these heated."
How did that make him matter? I don't understand.
I don't know. And if anybody knows, Kiara Mia is a piece, nigga. She's Mexican and she's a piece, my. And you know what I thought was, and they were dating pretty seriously and hard, and then she eventually told me they broke up, and I went, "That's inevitable. You're in a locker room full of dudes, some of which who I know they know who she is. You gotta have skin as thick as your helmet to be able to go into that locker room, and you know they're giving them shit. Yo, your girl be taking them jizz shots to the face. What is up with them? You in pro sports and you're dating a star, and you gotta face your dudes in the locker room.
Dude,
you're asking for it."
I always think obviously a lot of those the people in the industry date in the industry.
Yes.
I don't know how I don't even know how they can well, I'm going to work, honey.
Well, no, I used to think I felt that way too because I'm so protective of my woman.
Yeah.
If you're my woman, your body is sacred. It belongs to me. So yeah. But then when I hosted the AVNs the first time, and for the AVN Awards, you always shoot a skit that they air before the actual, "Hey, and welcome your host now," and you come out and do the big monologue. And I remember we were shooting this skit. And so it's me and like 10 chicks, and like there was 2 dudes only, a white dude and this black dude who were well known. I didn't know him because again, I don't know. But the white dude had on this outfit that was like see-through. So he got his call, and one of the girls was his actual girl. So, they did their little thing or whatever. And I just went, as much as I think that would bother me because they're in the same industry, they run, the same blood runs through each other's veins. They know.
Yeah, but it's being able to remove yourself from that physical connection where the physical connection is so important. You have an emotional connection, and the physical is just side.
That's a special, disturbing kind of power you have to have. Because there's another porn chick named Kai Kalani, and I was looking at her shit. I was looking at her shit on Twitter, and she was with her man, and she's rubbing him and going, "Baby, I love you. This is my man." And then it was another clip where she goes, "I just want to say hello to my man who I love so much, baby." Cut to 4 clips later. I mean, 2 is she's on her back, and both these got hammers, and she's sucking the one dude's while the other dude is a missionary. You don't love me. How can you do that? And a man to be able to separate himself like you're saying, what is wrong with you?
Better man than me.
Better than definitely me. She got 2 hammers, nigga, in her body at once.
But
I don't know how you make that separation.
People can, and I think
that's
more
crazy.
power to you. I'm not belittling it. I'm just saying I couldn't do it.
I couldn't. Oof. I don't know if that's called strength, but whatever it is, I don't have it. I don't have it, man.
I just couldn't. I couldn't imagine. Like your girl comes in the door, she's not in a good mood. That was just a rough day at work.
That's funny.
Don't want to hear.
Well, she's saying that to you,
Yeah.
that was a rough day at work.
Yeah.
That puts a whole other meaning on rough. Yeah.
I don't want to know anything about it, man.
Let me ask you, do you think that maybe, because I'm like, if you don't care or if you're able to remove yourself, clearly there's no ego involved. But maybe is there ego involved from the sense that you go, look, I her so good that I know them other dudes can't compete with me. So that's my security.
I don't know, but I would think that it has to be a different experience. There's a difference between. I think that and I could be completely wrong. And if there's a star out there that's listening to this, maybe to give us some insight. But I think the physical connection is one thing, but the emotional connection must be you are relying on an emotional connection. To you, the physical part of it is pleasure, but it isn't the important part. It's the emotional connection, where maybe their emotional connection is much stronger with the person they're in a relationship than ours, because we need the physical connection too. So they're all on emotional connection.
Right.
I don't know any other way that would work out if it wasn't that way.
Yeah, maybe this is the male macho in me and my ego. I have a hard time because I've heard the women say that, like, it's a profession like any other profession. Yeah. So when I'm at work, it's job, and when he goes cut, that's it. My home life and my personal life is different. I have a hard time believing that, because no matter what your profession is, you have fun at your job. If you enjoy your job, it gives you pleasure. You mean to tell me none of that feels good? If a dude got the right piece of meat and he's long and girthy and he's hitting your spot, you telling me that don't feel good?
Physically, but without an emotional connection.
Yeah, those two go together for me. Those two go together for me.
See, that's what I'm saying. They might have an enhanced emotional connection that we don't have.
All them ain't acting. Some of that's got to be real.
Well, I'm maybe when they're not in a relationship, that part could be maybe real, but I don't know that. I don't know. I don't know. There has to be a way to be able to do that.
Mm-mm. And listen, there's been a moment or two where I seriously considered fucking with Kiara for real. And she kind of was digging me enough to where we talked about possibly dating. There was a moment where I thought about really with Julie Cash, but I went, you stars. You stars. I can't walk down the street with you and somebody go, hey, Julie Cash, can I get a picture? And I'm just cool with this because I know why he wants the picture. He's seen you with 5 over your face.
What are you talking about? He's off to her multiple
Yeah,
times.
CB, nah, man.
But
Nah, man.
see, there is a difference though, because I just like emotional. See, because the emotion gets tied into the physical.
Right.
If we're talking about, I'm not talking about making love.
Right.
I'm talking about no.
Right.
I'm talking about.
Right.
It feels better without emotion. You could do everything dirty, however.
For a man, you don't have to have it to fuck.
Right, but just straight. No, but the emotional part with you, there's moments when you go, I have to look at her again. Like I can't. Do I want? You're doing some crazy. There's a comedian that I forgot whose joke it was, but they talk about that next day you're looking, you kind of not making direct eye contact with your girl because of the that you did the night before.
Right.
If it can be just, it could be way better than, but an emotional connection where it's making love, that's different. And if you separate those two, more power to you. I can't separate those two. But if you could, where we're going to be is on this side of the room and making love is on that side of the room, and it works for you, you got the best of both worlds.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work in my life and in my head.
Right.
But I understand. Like I understand it. Like if you could get there, if you could truly get there. I know there's some people in the industry that think that they're there or want to be there, but they're not there either. I know that because there's problems with some emotional situations in that industry, in all industries, but in that one, I think that's the juxtaposition. How do you separate those two? But if you could separate those two, and you could have unbelievable with no emotion and just raw passion, just animalistic, that's going to be the best. Physical, emotional, making love, it's a different thing.
Yeah, but when you have that raw animalistic passion with someone you love, that's when it's really the best.
Yeah, but I still there's moments when you like like slapping someone like seriously.
Well, you just took it to a different place.
I'm serious though, like taking it up to that next level, slapping someone, yanking some hair, doing some hard can be very, and that's part of the physical. I ain't slapping Tara in the face.
Even if she wanted you to, begged you, dad called you daddy, you know what I'm saying? She said, "Could slap me, daddy." Could you? You couldn't do it.
My maybe. Not with my hand.
You should slap her. Add some color to her.
Make her cheeks a little rosy.
You know what I'm saying? Why are you doing this? I'm putting makeup on you. Pow.
Hey, she has colors. She has freckles.
All right. Okay. Let me see. Where are we here?
We're almost the same color in the wintertime, but then the first day of summer comes and I change completely. She's still.
You're like an octopus. You change your environment.
She just stays that color. She's my Abercrombie girl.
Abercrombie. Yeah. Is that a nod to Abercrombie and Fitch?
Yeah, she worked there when she was in high school. She looks like those people. I almost said it like that. She looks like those people. She does.
Pancho, hola Panchito, hola Panchito. Pancho's a Blackfire. Yo, what up, Spears and Steinberg pod? Hey, yo, did you hear that the new president of Mexico is a woman and she's Jewish? LOL. Andy probably cried tears of joy saying, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one, LOL. Anyways, hey, yo, Aries, did you know that Vlad is actually Ukrainian and not Russian? And you're calling your podcast the Black Russian Podcast while Ukraine is in a war with Russia? You let Vlad tell it. He's a too. So he's all over the place. In a war with Russia just goes to show how fake Vlad is and how much of a culture vulture he is. He's even claiming the culture of a country that's destroying his own, the Ukraine. But it would be funny, though, if you did the Cosby impression and said America's dad is teaming up with Mother Russia, and I'm all the way to the top. Mwah. Now, lastly, I was thinking about the show Designing Women and how come they got one with 4 white and he never gets to any of them. What the hell? You know damn well that would happen in real life, in really life. I would them all. I'm not sure, but I think, and his name was Meshach Taylor.
Yep.
I think his character was gay.
I don't think that they made him gay, but
He had a lot of gay
It was
isms.
insinuated.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. You know, we were doing that 80s thing, and that's that Pretty in Pink is one of those.
What are you looking at?
The Pretty in Pink. The record store woman that worked there with her.
was a
Annie
black
Potts. Annie Potts, who was in that.
Yeah.
What do you
Annie
think of
Potts was in Ghostbusters.
Yeah, what do you think of Annie Potts?
Too quirky.
I like
Too quirky and too geeky. Too weird.
I like Annie Potts.
Really?
I've always when we talk. I never mentioned her in any of those movies. When I saw her in Pretty in Pink and all the other movies she's been in, and yes,
Right.
yeah, that's for me.
Okay. One of at least 2 of the women that I can recall from Designing Women would have definitely got the. Yeah, the southern sassy one.
You like this, so that's why you like Blanche too.
No, they just have sass appeal.
That's part of their southern charm.
Yeah, I guess. I like when they're real southern and they go, "I'm what." Julie Cash used to do that. Julie used to think she would always go, "Aries, why you hate black people? I mean, white people." I go, "What you talking about?" She goes, "You always posting things about white people that, what we do and I'm white." So you're talking about me. I'm like, bitch, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean?
Dude, you would have to, if you ever were like with a white woman, like that was your girl,
Yeah.
you would have to come home every day and explain the shit you said.
I'm going to tell you something, man. That's why I say, listen, I'll a white broad till her hair fall out. But as far as a relationship, I don't think I could be with a white woman, dude, because I'm very pro-black when it comes to certain shit. And I just, your whiteness would be a reminder to me every day. And I you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I got to have that soul that comes with a melanated woman. I got to have that soul. And white girls just, you know what I'm saying? I would feel funny.
What would be worse, though, dating a white girl that was just like that white Julie? I don't want to use her as the example, but that type of whiteness, just 100% white, or the white chick that has that black energy.
No, I definitely ain't with that. If I'm gonna go white, I want white. I want a white bitch. With no white woman that act black. Get the out of here. That is annoying. I'm fitting her. You white. Say I'm going to. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know. Like listen, if you are, and I don't give a what nobody say, I think every black man will admit this. When you are Ice-T's woman, Coco, when she was young, it's hard to say no to that. You know what I'm saying? But she gonna get old. And that's where, you know what I'm saying? That's where me as a black man gonna be like, bitch, you starting to, you know what I mean?
They're making strides in medical technology.
That.
I'm not for, I'm not for that. I've said it before, but, you do what you do. Got to keep up appearances.
Yeah, that, that tightness on that skin, boy.
If you keep white women out of the sun, keep them in like hyperbaric chambers, like very nice weather conditions.
Yeah,
they hold up longer, not as long, but longer.
And it's funny. I say that like you're not gonna age. If you got a girl around the same age as you gonna age too. Y'all age together.
Yeah.
How the f you gonna have a standard and you right there?
Yeah, but even look at me over this last 10 years. You saw that picture.
Yeah.
Dude, age came in, gave me two
Yeah,
knuckles.
but I'm not f***ing you.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, we all age.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. You just got to adhere to my rules. You know what I'm saying?
Mayor McCheese gets to set the rules.
Daryl German, movies to watch. Hello, Aries and Andy. This is my first time writing in. I watch you guys all the time, and I enjoy you both. I have 2 movies to suggest you both watch. The first is called Black Mirror on Netflix.
It's good.
Oh, it's good?
Yeah, I've seen it. I
But
don't.
there's no
I don't watch
enthusiasm
I
in
don't
your
watch the whole thing. They're
Then it ain't good.
no. They're individual. You don't have to.
You don't have to watch them in chronological order?
No.
And it'll there's so it's
Yeah,
nothing that
you
makes
could
sense.
check some out, and some of them are really good.
What is it about?
I can't even explain what it's about. Watch it.
Really?
Yeah, you have to watch
It's some
it.
weird.
It's different. Yeah.
It's a series of different stories. Some are very good. It makes you wonder if this situation happens for real. We're in trouble. If it happens for real, if this situation happens for real, we're in trouble. And some stories are boring, but it's a good show that makes you think. The other movie is on Amazon called Them. This one is weird as hell, especially season 2, but it's very good to me. Please let me know what you guys think about these 2 movies. Thank you and peace. So is it worth it?
It's worth check out the first season is really good.
When it falls off?
I just the problem is sometimes things disappear from my my purview, and then I just don't go back to them.
Right.
And I want to, but we're inundated. There's so much good stuff out there. How do you get to everything?
Right.
It's this world that we live in. It's almost too much.
Yeah.
It's too much access.
You know, I was gonna say too. I know I didn't mention it when we were talking about The Brat, but something that was interesting when they were talking about the time period, and they said something about, and I think they referenced Ferris Bueller's Day Off or something, where they go, Chicago, while it's a very black city, it's a very segregated city, and he goes, now where you see everything where it's diverse, almost like they're trying to cram it down your throat. And people might have got mad and said, how come ain't no black people in Ferris Bueller's Day Off or in this movie or that movie in the 80s? He goes, because at that time, when you looked at a school, you might have had one black kid in an all-white class. So we were reflective of the time.
Well, yeah. Someone said something. Yeah, I don't want to get into this. Yeah. Again, it's what I said before. You can't look at yesterday with the lens of today. Yeah, you have to put it all in context. I mean, you couldn't read what's that Mark Twain book? The one where they said the N-word in there about 100,000 times.
The Niggas Cabin?
No, I forgot what book it is. It's such an easy one. Most people.
Uncle Tom's Cabin.
No, that's not the one that I'm talking about, though. Is
No?
it? Is it?
I don't know.
No, it's not that one. But all I'm saying is, yeah, people are complaining that shouldn't be allowed. You shouldn't have. No, that's reflective of the time. What are you going to by getting rid of that or changing it? You're making people at that time seem like they're not those people. That was the culture at the time. You got to own the culture that's at that time. How else are you supposed to keep an idea of your history?
Right.
Yeah, 1,000 years from now, someone's going to read that because they cleaned it up and go, "These were pretty good people." How about that was where's the reality though?
Right.
You have to be honest, and we got to stop hiding, man. We got there's some acceptance. There was a different time period. I'm not saying that they should be that you have to. You're not raising them up, but you got to be honest to the time period.
Yeah. All right, let me read this last one. Montana Max. Sup, A&A. As a truck driver, this is my favorite podcast to listen to as I burn up the highways. It keeps me entertained from point A to point B. Aries, I often hear you speak on your views of the Most High God, and I agree with you how you feel. However, in the book of Holy Scriptures, God speaks of fire and brimstone, not rose petals and ice cream. In the book of Deuteronomy, whatever how you pronounce that, 32:39, God said he killed, and he wound. You often inquired, how could such a loving God torment the people he loved and created? I'll tell you why. The same way he burned Sodom and Gomorrah, a town full of sissies. I don't know if God would approve you saying that. The same loving God of Noah that flooded the whole world except for the 8 people who survived. So many innocent people and even newborn babies were brutally murdered in the Bible. So I'm like you. Make that make sense to me. God said he's a jealous God and want us to deny ourselves, pick up the cross and follow him. That's how the devil was created. Satan feels like no one wants to live like that. To Satan, no one wants to live like that except for a stupid creature like an ant. I know this was long and won't get read, but it's all good. Peace. It did get read. See, God is good all the time. Unless you're about to educate me, I don't really have nothing on that.
No, it's just there is a part where free will comes into place, and God gave us free will. And if He gave us free will, God isn't the one destroying the world. The world destroys
We
itself.
are.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what is the? It is too complicated for this podcast at the end of it, and probably too complicated at all. Huckleberry Finn is the what I was looking for, and that's a show.
Felt like you gave up.
I did.
That's a show.
That's a show because I didn't want to go. You know, if I open my mouth on that, I'm going to get carried away.
That's not an easy.
No, and I don't want to do that one right now. We've had good podcasts. This whole you guys, you got to understand. I'm getting married. You're hearing it. I'm already married, but we had to do the extra podcast. We put 2 more episodes. We've been in this room for 4 hours in front of a window, and we are roasting.
That heat been coming through, baby.
And I think these were good podcasts, really good podcasts. And I'm not going to on it here at the end. So
right.
Here it is. We're going to be at, listen to this, man. You can catch us this week at Helium Comedy Club in St. Louis, Missouri. That is June 27th through the 30th. July 5th through the 6th, we're going to be at the Funny Bone in Omaha. July 11th through the 14th, the Improv in Irvine, California. July 18th through the 20th, we're going to be at Cobb's Comedy Club in San Francisco. August 1st through the 3rd, we're going to be at Laugh Out Loud Comedy Club in San Antonio, Texas. August 8th through the 10th, we're going to be at Mic Drop Comedy Club in San Diego. August 22nd through the 23rd, we're going to be at Stand Up Live back in Phoenix, Arizona, followed by a trip down to Tucson at the Rialto Theater August 24th. That's my hometown, Born TMC Medical Center right there. August 30th through September 1st, we're going to be at the Improv in Houston, Texas. September 7th, the Complex. We're going to be in Salt Lake City, Utah. It's one night only. September 13th through the 14th, Hartford Funny Bone. September 20th through the 21st, we're at the Improv in Kansas City. My birthday weekend, come on out. October 4th to the 24th, we're going. October 4th only, one night only. Royal Oak Music Theater. October 5th, a big back in. We're here. NYC Apollo Theater. That is October 5th, one night only. We're going to be at the Apollo. October 11th through the 13th, we're going to be at Improv in Orlando, Florida. We're back at the Improv in Orlando. We're coming back out, guys. So there we are. If you're in New York, get those tickets to come see us at the Apollo.
Showtime at the Apollo. Let your body move.
You've done the Apollo before.
I was.
You did it when it was the Apollo still, like the traditional Apollo.
I was 17.
And what was? I know we talked about it a little bit, but what did that feel like? Did you? Did you feel it? Did you have? Were you in understanding the history and everything?
Yeah. I would have been terrified if I was competing with the chance with the Sandman, but they brought me on as a guest, like a featured guest, because I had already done Def Jam.
But you feel it? Did you rub?
And listen, they still would have booed my ass if I, tanked. But I slayed it.
Did you rub the?
No, because I wasn't competing. That's the competitors.
Only the competitors.
Yeah, I can't. I was there. They, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Genius.
Star of the show.
Star of the show.
All right, man.
And I remember I told you I came out about a minute and a half into my set. Something went wrong with the mic, so they had to bring me out. I came out. I had the presence of mind to start over with something new and not try to repeat the same thing. And I crushed that.
They would have booed you if you would have repeated this.
No, they wouldn't have booed me.
Because they would have got it because it's for
Yeah,
the
but
film.
the element of surprise would have been gone, and then that would have been televised, so it would have looked like the reaction was whack.
Yeah.
And I told you, man, I crushed so hard. I took a train from Jersey, came up to Harlem, and the girl that wanted to fuck me because of that. I'm telling you, man, I'm a beast, nigga.
Spears and Steinberg.
Thanks for listening to the Spears and Steinberg podcast. If you'd like to know who's responsible for this, it was hosted by Ari Spears and Andy Steinberg, produced by Steve Merrick and Anthony Holmes, executive producer, Big Papa, Robert Kelly, and Matt Kleinschmidt for the Laugh Button podcast. For more information on where to find us on the internet, visit SpearsburgPod.com.